Hello students, in this video I will be explaining you all the first chapter from first PU syllabus, that is overview of a computer. So in this chapter you will be learning about the introduction regarding the computer, that is you will have already learned about this in your lower classes in your school, that is from 1st standard till 10th standard. Already you will have learned it, right? Regarding what is a computer, its features, the different types of computers and the applications of computers. So in this chapter, which I am going to teach you all now, you will be going in little bit a depth in regarding the introduction to computer. So next, what is a computer? Before going to the definition of a computer, we shall see how did the word computer come from. The word computer comes from the word compute, means to calculate. So we have got the word computer from a word called as compute. So compute means to calculate, to perform calculations. Okay. Next, we shall see what is the definition of a computer. A computer is an electronic device that takes input from the user, processes the data under a set of instructions called program, and gives the output and saves the output for future use. So a computer means it is an electronic device, or you can say an electronic machine that takes input from the user. So we are known as the users of the computer. So this computer, it is taking the input from us, from the users. So once the computer gets the input, it will process that input under set of instructions called program. So after the processing has been done, you get the results, that is known as the output. So then after the set of instructions are being processed by the computer, it gives us the output and also saves the output for future use. That is, we can access them wherever we want. So the output will be saved for future use. I repeat the definition of a computer. A computer is an electronic device that takes input from the user, processes the data under a set of instructions called program, and gives the output and saves the output for future use. Okay. Next, how does the computer work? So it is as simple as making tea. Now we'll take a real life example, that is of making a tea. Now in the preparation of tea, students, we require ingredients such as water, tea powder, milk and sugar. So these are the 4 ingredients required while preparing a tea. So these are considered as inputs required for performing tea. Next, we on the gas, we keep the vessel and we add all these 4 ingredients and then it starts boiling. So this is known as processing. So boiling of the ingredients is called as processing. So after boiling, we get a tea, that is called as the output. So similarly, the computer works based on the input, processing and output. So the computer, it takes input from the user through input devices such as keyboard, mouse, okay, and then it starts processing under the CPU, that is central processing unit, and you get the results, that is the output, through output devices like monitor, printer, speakers, etc. A computer is a combination of hardware and software. Now we shall see what is this hardware. The physical components of a computer which we can touch are known as hardware. Now in our body we have got different parts like hair, head, eyes, ears, nose, legs, hands, etc. Okay, now these are the parts of human being which we can touch them. Also we can feel them when we are touching it. In a similar way, the computer also has a physical components which we can touch. So they are known as hardware. So the definition of a hardware is the physical components of a computer which we can touch are known as hardware. Example, keyboard, monitor, mouse, speakers, printers, etc. So all these are known as hardware because we can touch them. Next, software. Set of instructions that tells the hardware what to do is known as software. Now, just having a hardware, it is waste. If these hardware, they need to perform their functions, like keyboard has to perform typing functions to input data to the computer. Then monitor is you get the output using a monitor, which is an output device. Next, mouse, speakers. So using speakers you can listen the audio output. Printers is used to take the printouts. So these hardwares, they have to perform their own functions. So software is telling the hardware what to do. Like we human beings, we have different parts which are considered as physical components of our body. Now each parts of our body, they perform a particular function. Like eyes is being used to view, to see. Okay, then we use ear to hear. Okay, in the similar way, these hardware, they need to perform their particular function. So that is being directed by the software. So a set of instructions that tell the hardware what to do is known as software. Example, operating system, MS Paint, MS Office packages, computer games, etc. So these are the softwares present in the computer. We cannot touch them. Okay. So these have been considered as software of the computer. So you might get a question for 2 marks, like define hardware, give examples, or define software, give examples. Or they might ask you all, write the differences between hardware and software. So is it clear about hardware and software? Okay, next, characteristics of computer. So like how we human beings have got different characteristic features, in the similar way computers also have their own characteristic. So the first one is speed. Speed has been considered as the main characteristic of computer. Computer is a fast device. It can perform in few seconds the amount of work a human being can do in a year. A powerful computer is capable of performing several billion arithmetic operations per second. So as I have told you all, computer is a fast device. It can perform in few seconds the amount of work a human being requires to do it in a year. Now suppose if a same work is being given to the computer and a human being, that work will be performed by the computer within few seconds, whereas the same work will require a year to be completed by the human being. Now suppose if a computer is more powerful, it is capable of performing billion arithmetic operations per second. So within a second, arithmetic operations, billion arithmetic operations will be completed by the computer if it is more powerful. And second one, accuracy. Computer is an accurate machine. Accurate means giving correct results without giving any errors. So it gives us correct results without any errors. Errors can occur only due to logic errors or data errors. So sometimes computers will give us error, but it is due to logic error or data errors. So these are the errors made by the users. Okay, if the user gives a wrong data to the computer, or if a logic has to be performed, if some a wrong logic is being performed, then errors will be occurred. So these are the errors caused by the human being. Otherwise computers will always give you correct results. Accuracy of the computer does not go down even if it works for hours continuously. Now if we human beings, if we are performing any kind of work, in the beginning for first 15-20 minutes we perform that work correctly, okay, continuously, but then sometimes we tend to make mistakes. But whereas computer, even if it is working continuously for hours and hours, its accuracy will never go down. It will give you always correct results without making any errors. Next, third one, diligence. Computers have the ability to perform same task over a long time without getting tired. Computer is free from tiredness, lack of concentration, and hence can work for hours continuously without creating errors. So any work you give for the computer, it will perform that work continuously for a long time without getting tired. Now we human beings, if any work has been given for us, okay, we do that work for 15-20 minutes continuously, then we feel tired. Or if a work has been given for us to type in Word, in Microsoft Word, that time we type for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, then we feel tired. But whereas if the same work has been given for the computer, it will perform the work continuously without getting tired. So it is free from tiredness, lack of concentration, and hence it can work for hours continuously without creating errors. So whatever work you give students for the computer, it will not feel tired, it will not shut down. It continuously it will work for a long period of time without getting shut down. Okay. Fourth one, versatility. Computer is a versatile machine. Now versatile or versatility means the capacity to perform completely different types of work is called versatility. So any work you give for the computer, okay, that work will be performed completely by the computer, then it will switch on to some other work, and even that work will be performed continuously. That is known as versatility. Computers can work with different types of data like text, visuals, graphics, etc. So computers can work with different types of data like text, visuals, pictures, images, videos, audios, graphics, etc. Now the computer, one moment it will be preparing marks list of students, okay. So once that work has been completely done, it goes to the next work for preparing charts. So computer always performs any work continuously. That is known as versatility. Fifth one is multitasking. Now multitasking means performing different tasks at the same time, like simultaneously same different types of tasks is being performed. Example, we can listen to songs using a computer while typing a Word document. We can also download movies at the same time and also play games in the computer. Now even we human beings are also considered as multitaskers. Like when we are having our dinner, we watch TV, right? Then when we can take your online classes itself. When online classes is being going on, you people listen to the online class, also play games simultaneously. Human beings also perform work, different types of work at the same time. Similar way, even the computers, using a computer, if a user is listening to the song, at the same time using the computer, you can also type a Word document. Then we can keep a movie to be downloaded, at the same time play games in the computer. Next, last one is storage capacity. Computers have a large storage capacity. They can store large volumes of data, and we can access stored data at any time. It has an inbuilt memory where it can store large amount of data. So computers have got a large storage capacity. You can store any amount of files in the computer. So whatever data is being stored in the computer, you can also access them whenever you want at any time. Then it has also got an inbuilt memory. Inbuilt memory is RAM and ROM. Like how in your mobile phones you have got RAM and also internal memory. In a similar way, computers also have got an inbuilt memory, that is RAM and ROM, where it can store large amount of data. So these are the 6 characteristics of computer, that is speed, accuracy, diligence, versatility, multitasking and storage capacity. A very important question which comes always in the exam. History of computers. The first one is abacus. So abacus is being considered as, or it is known as, the first counting device. So it was existed before the calculators were existed. So before calculators were used, abacus was invented. So it has been considered as the first counting device. It was invented around 500 BC, that is before Christ. This device, that is abacus, was invented, and it was used by the cultures of countries like China, Mesopotamia, Japan, Greece, Rome, etc. So in these countries, in their culture, abacus was being used for counting. Next, second one is Pascal calculator. So Pascal calculator has been considered as the first mechanical adding machine. So it was mechanically it could perform the operations. So it was invented by Blaise Pascal in 1642. So a scientist by name Blaise Pascal has invented Pascal calculator in 1642. Now, one of the disadvantage of this Pascal calculator is it could only perform addition and subtraction. It was not able to perform all the arithmetic operations. Only addition and subtraction were being performed by this device. Another name for Pascal calculator is Pascaline. Next, the third one is difference engine. Now you know that Charles Babbage. The Charles Babbage is the father of computers. He has developed computer. So the same person, Charles Babbage, he has developed a machine called as difference engine to solve equations in 1812. Now you have learned about equations in mathematics and physics, chemistry and all. So to solve equations, Charles Babbage invented a machine called as difference engine. Okay, fourth one, Jacquard loom. So Joseph Mary Jacquard, he invented Jacquard loom in 1801. Now this machine, that is Jacquard loom, it used punched wooden boards to automatically weave detailed patterns including text and pictures. Now you can see there a picture of a wooden board which has got holes in that. That has been known as punched wooden boards. So using punched wooden boards, in the Jacquard loom, it used punched wooden boards to weave, to design or to weave the patterns like text and pictures. Next, fifth one, Boolean logic. Now Boolean logic is not a device nor a machine. It is a kind of logic used in the design of computer circuitry. So to design computer circuits, Boolean logic was being developed in 1850 by George Boole. So about Boolean logic you will be learning in your second year. Next, sixth one is vacuum tube. In 1906, vacuum tubes were invented by American physicist Lee D. Forest. So in 1906, an American physicist called Lee D. Forest, he invented vacuum tube. So vacuum tubes are glass tubes with circuits inside. You can see a picture over here in the right side of the page. It is a vacuum tube. You can see circuits inside that. So vacuum tubes are glass tubes which contains circuits inside. It looks like a bulb or CFL bulbs which you are having in your house. It looks similar to that, but it is not a bulb. It is a glass tube which contains circuits inside. Then seventh one, Napier's bones. The Napier's bones was invented in 1614 AD by John Napier, a Scottish mathematician, as an aid to multiplication. So to solve multiplication problems, a Scottish mathematician called John Napier, he invented Napier's bones in 1614 AD. Next, Leibniz calculator. A mathematician by name Gottfried Leibniz, he built a calculator in 1650 that could add, subtract, multiply and divide the numbers. So this Leibniz calculator was able to perform the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Ninth one. Ninth is the first programmer. So a lady called as Ada Lovelace, she is the first programmer who wrote programs in computer language. So first she started writing computer algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a given problem. So any problem has been given to you, you write it in step-by-step. That is known as algorithm. So Lady Ada Lovelace, she started writing the first computer algorithm, and she also predicted that computers will have the ability to do more than mathematical calculations. Now you all know what is mathematical calculation. So more than mathematical calculations, computers have the ability to perform the task. The last one is Hollerith tabulating machine. In 1889, Herman Hollerith invented a counting machine to count the population of USA. So this person, Herman Hollerith, he was from USA. So he invented a machine called as Hollerith tabulating machine, which was used to count the population. Population is how many people are there in US. To count the population of US in 1889, Herman Hollerith invented Hollerith tabulating machine. So now this electronic machine, it used punched boards. Okay, this electronic machine was able to read the information present on the punched boards and process it electronically. So this is regarding the history of computers. That is, the first one is abacus, Pascal calculator, then difference engine, Jacquard loom, Boolean logic, vacuum tube, Napier's bone, Leibniz calculator. The first programmer had Hollerith tabulating machine. So this question normally it appears for 5 marks. Explain the evolution of computers or explain the history of computer. An important question for 5 marks.